when we talk about similar triangles, there are three ways of saying triangles are similar. The first rule is angle, angle. If two angles in one triangle match two angles in another, then the triangles have to be similar. Now, if I know that's a 50 and a 60 and that's a 50 and a 60, does that match that rule? Yeah, I got two angles and they match. But what do I really know about the other angle over here? What would this angle be right there? How many degrees in a triangle?
There's 180.
180. So if this is 50 and 60, that's 110. 180 minus 110 leaves
70.
70. But if I go to the other triangle, 50 and 60 is 110. 180 minus 110 leaves 70. So if I have two angles the same, what do I actually have?
So if there's two the same, then
It's gonna be the same.
The other one's going to be the same.
is it?
If I have two the same, I really have all three the same.
Yes, because
So if I have two, I really have all three
because
because they got to add up to be 180. So if you have two angles, that satisfies the rule, but you've got three actually. All right, side, side, side similarity. What we're going to do is we're going to make fractions and see if the fractions are the same. That's basically what this rule means. It says the sides are proportional. In other words, if I make a fraction, I'm going to get the same fraction every time for all three sides. And the last one down here is side angle side similarity. We're going to do the same thing we did with the sides. Do the fractions and see if they're proportional. See if you get the same ratio and the same fraction when you do it. And the angle that you're talking about has to be in between the two sides. For this right here, does it satisfy the rule for angle, angle? Do I have two angles that are the same?
Yes.
Yes, I've got the one mark in each one, I've got the two marks in each one. So the angles, two angles are congruent, so then that makes it angle, angle similarity. This little symbol right here just means similar. So we're saying triangle ABC is similar to what? The way to figure that out is to follow the angles. If I go ABC, I go from the nothing to the two mark to the one mark. Alright, so what we're going to do is follow the angles, and then that will tell us what the letter order will be. So A, B, C went nothing, 2 to 1. So what would my other letters over here be?
Yeah.
D, E, F.
Should be D, E, F, right? Nothing, 2 to 1. All right, I want you to do those three. Make sure you follow the angles and go in the right order. All right, for BAC, it would be similar to, for CBA,
FD.
and then for ACB.
DLT.
All right. The order is extremely important. If you put, for example, if you said ABC and EDF, that's not going to work. The order is important. Make sure you go the way the angles go. Now, what I do want you to notice, wherever A is in the order that you write, D better be in that same spot. A is first, D is first. A is second, D is second. A is third, D is third. It's going to work for B and C too.
So that's how they call it 880.
Yes, because angle, angle. All right, so wherever A is, D is going to match it. So that should be easy to set up when you're doing it. The angles that match have to go in the same order. All right, I want you to do those two right there. All right, we should be able to do this very quickly. If I do O-N-M and I follow the angles, I went from the nothing to the 2 to the 1. So over here, what would match that?
RTS.
If I go N-O-M,
TRF.
follow the angles. Again, wherever N is, T's got to be in that same position, whether it's first, second, or third. So angle, angle should be the easiest one. All you need is two angles and match. Right. This one, I want you to give me both parts of the rule, not just one part. So you come up with the two triangles that work. Now, before we do that, is this even angle angle? What does it have listed?
CD.
All right, that,
One angle.
it's got one angle. How many do I need?
Two.
Two. Is there another angle up there that we know is congruent? Because if not, we can't do it.
C.
Why is C congruent?
Because it beats. Yeah, it's.
What's it
equal.
called?
It's
Starts with a V.
vertical.
Vertical. Vertical angles have to be congruent. So since I know that vertical angles are congruent, I can mark that. Now I have my two angles. I want you to give me two different ways of writing the similarity statement. All right, give me one. CDE. All right, if I said triangle CDE is similar to,
CAB.
I've got to say, well, I went from the 2 to the nothing to the 1 for CDE. So I'd have to go 2, nothing, and 1 up there. CBA. That's fine. Give me another one.
ABC.
All right. Well, let's do ABC because most people start with ABC.
EDC.
All right, if I do ABC, that went 1, 0, 2. So 1 would be E, D, C.
Yes.
And now you can have a whole bunch more. But the important thing is what?
Do it have to be a C?
Does that have to be what?
P-face letter, like we put C for both of them. It can't be another,
Letter? No, it's got to be the C because that's the only one we got there. All right. What you do have to make sure of though, whatever answer you have, A has to be in the same position as E. Wherever A is, E is.
You start with A, then you got to start.
Yeah, if you start with A, you start with E. Wherever B is, D's got to be in that same spot, and then C has to be in the same spot on both of them.
You just follow the order.
All right, now for side, side, side. All right. A lot of times people get confused on side, side, side because they don't know where to put the numbers. Should be real easy. All we're checking is, are the sides proportional? In other words, do they make the same fraction when I check that part? Very simple. You don't have to worry about switching them around and rotating them to make them the same and reflecting them to make them look the same and all that junk. All you have to do is this. The small over the small, the middle over the middle, and the big number over the big number. That's all you gotta do. You pick the small one in one triangle, put it over the small one in the second triangle. Small one in, or middle in the second one, middle in the first one. So on down the line. Now, if we have sides and we check it to see if it works, we do need to figure out the scale factor. The easiest way to do the scale factor is this. Start with the second triangle and put those numbers in the top. So if I pick my small number in the second triangle, what is it?
3.
And I'm going to put that over the small number in the first triangle, which is, and that simplifies down to 1/2. Then I'm going to go to my middle number. What's the middle number in the second triangle?
4.
And that's going to go over 8 in the first one. That simplifies to 1/2. Go to the big number, which is 5, over the big number, which is 10. If all three fractions are the same, then side, side, side works. And guess what your scale factor is? 1/2. That way you don't even have to work and do any more to find the scale factor. It's already there. But you need to do the second triangle compared to the first triangle. Does it make sense that the scale factor is 1/2? Why does that make sense?
Because all of them go, when you simplify them, they all go.
What's happening to the triangles?
They're fractions.
What happened to the triangle? We're making it complicated. What happened from here to here? It got smaller.
Dilated from.
It got smaller. If it gets smaller, what should happen? Should be a fraction between 0 and 1. So when I look at that, I'm thinking this better be a fraction when I get done. All right, so let's do this second one down here. Where do I start?
4.
Nope.
Small.
Small of which one?
The second one.
Second one. What's the small number in the second one?
6.
Over.
4.
All right. That's going to simplify down to 3 over 2. Then I'm going to go to the middle number, which is 9 over 6, well, that's 3 over 2. And then 12 over 8, that's 3 over 2. Do I get the same fraction every time? Yes, that means side, side, side works. And my scale factor is
3 over 2.
3 over 2.
So we always start the second one up.
Yes, I always start with the second one. All right, when I'm doing side angle side, the first thing I'm going to look at is the angle in the right spot? Where did we say the angle had to be? What did that rule say that we copied down at the beginning? What? But where in relation to the sides?
The main portion, the middle.
Where does the angle have to be? No. Where does the
On top.
angle? It would be a shame if we would listen to me when I talk. The angle has to be in between the two sides. It's in the rule and I said it. In between the two sides. Is angle B that's marked right here in between the 10 and the 14?
No.
It's not in between them?
Yeah.
Looks like it is to me. Is angle D in between the 5 and the 7? If that works, then I'm going to check the sides. We're going to check the sides just like we did a second ago. How do I check the sides?
Smallest.
Small matches up and then the big one match up. So here, which one of
Second
those?
one.
Start with the second triangle. So that's going to be 5 over 10.
7 over
That's 1/2. 7 over 14.
1/2.
With the
That's
scale
1/2.
factor of 1/2.
So, angle's in the right spot. The fractions work for the sides. So side angle side works, and my scale factor is 1/2. What if I did this and said, well, I want to do triangle ABC is similar to, what would it match?
MDM.
It would have to be NDM. Because remember, we got to go in the same order. All right. Do that bottom one. All right. First thing we got to find is the angle in between the sides the same? Well, they don't give me the T and the J angles, but I can figure them out. If this is 40 and 80, that's 120. Got to be 180 total. So I can figure out they're both 60. So is the angle okay in between the sides? Yes, so that's good. Then I check the sides and see if I get the same fraction. 9 matches up with, that's 3 over 2. 12 matches up with 8. That's 3 over 2. So if these two things work and the angle, the 60 is in the right spot, side angle side does work. Scale factor is 3 over 2. And if I said something like triangle RST, what would it have to match? Follow your angles and you got to set up. Alright. Which angle do I need to be checking?
Second.
The middle.
The middle of the two sides, which would be
A and D.
A and E. Are A and E marked as being the same?
Oh, you don't know.
Well, they're not marked, but can I figure it out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if this is a 1 and that's a 2 and that's a 1 and that's a 2, it doesn't matter what's left over,
That's gonna be a 3.
it's going to be the same in both of them. So whatever angle A is, angle E would have to match it. Therefore, the angle's in the right spot. It's okay. It's congruent. All I'd have to do is check the sides. So I'm going to start with which triangle?
The second one.
The second triangle and pick the small side
4 over 6. Or
over the big, or excuse me, small side in the first one. That's 2/3. I'm going to go back and get the big
6 over
side
9.
over the big side in the first one.
That's 2/3.
So angle's in the right spot. I get 2/3. So side angle side does work.
And 2/3 is your dilation.
2/3 is my scale factor for the dilation. And if I said something like BAC, it would be similar to
FED.
BAC would be FED. Just follow the angles and go in the order of the angles. All right, if I'm looking at number 1, does it work, yes or no? Yes. What is my rule?
CAB if.
What is my rule? The rule is angle, angle. Can I do a scale factor for that? No, because I don't have sides. So then I would say something like triangle ABC is similar to DEF. Again, you could have different order. Just make sure the A is in the same spot as the E. Wait a minute, I did that wrong.
It's EDF.
Let me back that up. EDF. And how do I know that's right? Well, A has to match E, B has to match D, and C has to match F. Second one. I've got to check side, side, side if it works. So for my fractions, I would say 10 over 5, 16 over 8, 20 over 10. All of those are 2 over 1. So yes, it works by side, side, side. My scale factor is 2. And if I said triangle KJL, that would match.
SRT.
KJL takes the
SRT.
big side and the middle side, so I've got to do SRT to match big and middle. Number 3. It is not going to work. Why is it not going to
Because
work?
the angle is.
This angle is okay. That one's good. But that one messes it up. It's not in between the two sides. So when you say no, you are done there. Do not put a scale factor. Do not do a similarity statement. Do not write anything else. If it's a no, everything's a no. The last one over here is the angle in the right spot. That one is. So then I'm going to check 5 over 10 and 7.5 over 15. Both of those are 1/2. So yes, it works by side angle side. Scale factor is 1/2. And then if I did,
BAC.
all right, if I do BAC, that would match.
GHI.
GHI, right? For the first one, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, it works by angle. It's already got the similarity statement started for me. ABC would have to match FED. Scale factor. Don't have scale factor because I don't have sides. The second one over here,
Doesn't work.
when I check my sides, that's what I've got to start with. I would go 12 over 8,
15 over 10.
15 over 10,
16 over 12.
So I
First
get
3 over 2.
3 over 2, 3 over 2, 4 over 3. So when I see that, I'm stopping there. It doesn't work, nothing else I need to do. Do not do a similarity statement if you say no. Do not do a scale factor if you say no.